There we go. YouTube won't let me start the stream unless I turn the virtual camera off. That's why I always have to turn it off and on. So welcome, everybody, to the stream.
I'll have to move this around again. Boop.
Today we're going to be talking about whatever the heck
y'all want. Or whatever sounds interesting. How to draw bodies. We do have a lot of those questions. I
did come up with a new exercise.
Ooh.
But I won't talk about it now. I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
I came up with a follow-up to the ball of yarn exercise, and I actually really like it.
Nice. What do you mean by how to draw bodies? I've got a lot of hands as well. What our program do you use? I use Procreate. Body proportion basics, please. Okay. I know that that's a very common question. People love it. So I'll give you my quick version.
What if, for body proportions, we don't draw the Will Weston stick man? We draw like something that's like a little bit more like actual looking like a person.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
I just noticed that recently, that every time we talk about body proportion, it's like
it's always the same.
It's the diagram one.
It's the diagram one, yeah. Okay, I'll just draw a body right here. Like a simple body.
It's this one.
Yeah, it is that one. It's so diagrammatic. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is that the top of your head and the bottom of your pelvis, this length is the same as your legs. So all you have to do is your upper body and your lower body are around the same length. That's a really good proportional method. And then if you want to be more specific, you can divide this upper section into 3 parts.
1
and
2 3.
Yeah, assuming that this is all like perfectly matched, but you know, maybe the head needs to be a bit smaller.
How's everybody doing on YT? Lucky, Vanilla, Liana, Jukebox, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse?
Mickey Mouse.
That's kind of cute. So yeah, so the top is divided into thirds. The bottom half is divided in half. So if you have this, you can get a whole body.
Can we do color theory next? Color. That's not a bad idea.
Fun. Another thing I like doing is my elbow is around the bottom of my rib cage, and my wrist is around the crotch, and then my hand is ends at around the thighs. So like that's a very basic body proportion. Yes, color theory, please. A lot of people are asking about color theory.
Sure.
So we can do that.
I need to think of something.
Well, maybe we'll have Colton think about
sphere.
Yeah. Well, boy anatomy and anatomy animation. We don't do animation, so I wouldn't be able to do that for you. And neck placement tips. I'm just kind of reading off some questions and seeing what kind of vibes with me.
When drawing perspectively challenging poses, do you have any tips? Yeah, break them down into simple volumes first, like boxes and cylinders. That'll help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Finding the overlaps. Boy anatomy. I love that.
Boy anatomy.
Like finding out where your torso is, like the pelvis, like is it overlapping your rib cage area? Are you looking up or down at it? Simplifying the body like this can help with the perspective. You know, is this hand coming towards you, and is it bigger than your head? How can we describe the cylinders? Is it facing us or is it going away from us? There's only so many ways the body can move. It just depends on like what kind of pose you want. So like if the hand is coming towards us, we're not really going to get arms that are facing behind us, right? Or else it's just not physically possible. There's only one way it can go, which is like towards us. If you're in this situation. And then you can do the same thing with legs. You know, have one leg bending forward and one leg kind of to the side. You got like a fighting pose like this. This is not a very attractive pose, but you know. Oh well.
I guess it depends on what the other leg is doing. It could be if it kind of continued that
curve. It could be like a karate pose. Like that.
That's good.
Hey, as long as you can have like a story with your pose and generally make sense, you're good. What is this?
Where's your school located and what country? It's online. You can take it from anywhere. Vorns with a $10 super chat. That's crazy. Can we get some W's in the chat? But Miss Y'all, hey, how you doing? Been quitting nicotine lately. I'm back. Hello to the best teachers ever. Oh, appreciate it. Hey, good luck.
Woo!
Good luck and thank you very much. Can we get some double W's in the chat? What do we have?
How much is the school? The school is $497.
Yup.
It is basically like an art college alternative.
Yeah, it's a big giant art college online with a bunch of different classes and it's all linear, so you go all the way from the very beginning to like heads and faces through color theory, anatomy, clothing, character design, perspective, backgrounds, painting. It's like a whole school.
Yeah.
Awesome, Vorns. Welcome back. I noticed you weren't around as much lately. Good to see ya.
Yeah. It's always nice seeing you here. A lot of people are asking about anatomy. If you want, I can cover some of that. I'll do like flashy anatomy.
Fisheye.
Fisheye's fun.
I haven't talked about fisheye in ages. We could do color theory. We could do fisheye.
Yeah, fisheye's cool. Okay, I'll give you some boy anatomy, I guess. Boy anatomy. So you want to make sure that your shoulders and your general upper body area is more like a Dorito triangle. And your waist tends to be narrower. So you'll generally get a body shape like this. I'm not going to talk about like intense anatomy, but like just parts of the body you'll see more often. And then you'll have your clavicle. So what you'll have here is your neck muscle and then your back muscle right here. So it creates these these lumps. And by the way, I'm kind of covering this really fast.
That ain't a boy, that's a man.
That's a man. Yeah, if it's a boy, you just make him skinnier. Or just make him like not super bulky. But people like seeing this kind of body type as well.
It's a boy in one of those manga, one of those animes where you're just like, that ain't no 14-year-old.
I know, right? Literally.
It's a boy like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah. So it's actually not that hard to think about anatomy. It's just, you're just thinking about certain landmarks. So like pecs, for example, that's a muscle. Here's your shoulder muscle. And so that's a bump outside of this curve. So like you'll get this. It almost kind of looks like a reverse bracket. And then this overlaps your pecs. And then what I do is if I want to keep it really simple, I will ignore the ribcage muscles and just instead kind of just draw this part right here and treat it like more like a kind of like a boxy cylinder. And then I'll draw my abs like this. So like a lot of the time this will probably be enough in most cases if you just want to have like a setup. And you can draw like little love handles.
If you're a minor, are you able to join the online school? Yeah, we recommend at least 13, but remember, it is like a college program. So, I mean, as long as you have permission, there's nothing inappropriate in the school. But it is a serious drawing program. Like, it's a fundamentals program. You're learning anatomy, figure drawing, perspective, clothing drawing, the 7 basic folds. But we do have students who take it who are 13. I would say the average age is probably, what, 20s?
Yeah,
late
20s
teens to 20s.
Yeah, young adult. And you know, the same thing with arms. It's like, you know, here you start off with basic forms first. I always recommend starting with basic forms before adding any anatomy on top, because that way when you add muscles, it actually changes the shape or the form of the arm. So like this right here, this shape is very specific for the forearm because you got your forearm muscles.
Yeah, we do have a Discord server.
We do. Right here. How do I something into the program? Split. Right here. Learning so much. Awesome.
Yeah, you can check it out on our site, drawanime.com. Yellow button is going to be the school. Learn all about it there. Blue button is going to be the Discord server.
Yep. If you want, I mean, like, this is exactly what I teach in our anime art school. So, like, you want to learn the more exact muscles? Like, these are diagrams that I make.
Yeah. What's the name of that muscle near the man's waist? You mean the obliques?
Obliques.
Side muscles, squishies?
The love handles. It kind of,
yeah. Those are external obliques.
You can draw a rib cage. You can draw a little Play-Doh on top like this. And then your pelvis box kind of goes like this. And then you got your ab area. So a lot of times you can just do this kind of breakdown as well. But of course, if you want it to be leaner, you don't have to push it out so much. You can just make it narrower.
Do you teach for free?
We are teaching for free right now.
No, we just charged your card.
For being on this stream.
Yep.
We're in the Discord. Can I send my art for critiquing, or is it for share, or just for sharing's sake?
We don't really do critiques that often on stream, but you can share.
Yep. Yes, our school is an art school. It's an online art school.
Yup. It's an online digital art school, like a whole college. So if you're interested in getting better, eventually writing your own manga or webcomic, and you want to learn how to draw anatomy, figure drawing, faces, expressions, clothing, backgrounds, perspective, all that kind of stuff, we teach it. We have a whole unified program that covers the whole thing. It's really organized.
Yeah.
So it'll save you all the trouble of trying to figure out what to learn in what order.
You can just look forward to, being able to do stuff like this. Making full backgrounds and full characters and making your own project. We, for this project, we made 3 different scenes, and we made it like a visual novel for funsies. Although this is really dark for some reason. So let me turn this off.
I can show it on mine if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. But we also talk a lot about color theory and all that stuff as well. How to make colors harmonize. How much money does it cost?
For the whole school, it's a year long. It's $497. It's lifetime access. So these were the ones that she was showing on her iPad. These are our own OCs.
Yes.
So I go through everything. I teach you how to draw the perspective of the rooms, how to light them, how to use different lighting and color situations. A lot of color theory. I know people were asking about that earlier. Like this. This is the end of the 6th class. So you're already really, really, really far in by the time you get to this point. We're doing a lot of other stuff first, like rendering primitive forms, calculating cast shadows. You learn about we render this entire thing from scratch by hand with a basic round brush with a point light, calculate all the cast shadows. So you're learning heavy duty important stuff like perspective and rendering and all that. It's like what you'd learn in an industrial design school, because that's what I studied and did professionally, and so that's how I teach it. Reminds me of my Blender class assignments. Yeah, except it's not 3D, it's all hand drawn.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Blender is very good for helping with that kind of stuff. I don't think we're going to do really complicated, weird poses like that today.
Yeah,
it's kind of a niche topic. We're probably going to get to a little bit more common stuff. Person back bending towards the viewer like a crab walk.
I don't know if I want to do that. And also, I may not know exactly what pose you're thinking about. I would say just look up specific reference and try to break it down like this. Try to draw, I would say I would really recommend know what boxes look like in specific angles. Are you what side is this? This could be the front, or this could be the bottom of a box, and this could be the front, and this could be the side, right? And then you're like, oh, I know which box to draw. I'm going to simplify the body with these particular boxes. And that way you can draw if you know how to draw a box from the side, you're looking down at it. This is the top of your box. This is the front. This is the side. Oh, I can turn this into a person and add an extra box going away from us, and then maybe draw someone leaning over, and doing this.
Yeah, building it out of primitive forms.
Yeah. So when you know what primitive forms to draw, you can easily build that with build a body with it.
Can you show us your Instagram? Yeah, I can bring up our Instagram if you want. Here it is.
Our Instagram.
This is our Instagram. We don't post there very much. I did post a video today, though, on Folds. This is a stream clip. But yeah, Draw Anime Academy on every platform.
If you want a reference of a 3/4 looking up head, here's 2 kinds of references. You can take a screenshot.
Is a monthly fee? No, it's a one-time.
One-time
It's
payment.
lifetime access, so you get it. You buy it once, you have it forever. I've been reading drawing on the right side of the brain. Have you heard of it? Yes. Do you like it? I don't do that kind of drawing. I think drawing on the right side of the brain mostly focuses on observational drawing. My goal was always to draw from imagination, so I'm more of a James Gurney, imaginative realism type of guy. It's a good book, though. I think it helps with the understanding of when you're copying something to look at not what you think it is, but what it actually is, like the shape of things. Like it's legit. It's just not the type of art that I do personally. Mm-hmm. How long is the school? A year.
A year.
3 terms of 14 weeks to be exact. It takes 1 college year and breaks it down into 3 terms. So it's basically a year of college. Mm-hmm. But it's very dense.
Yeah.
It's very dense. Where's the place of the school? It's online.
It's online?
Is it 400 a term? No, it's like 497 for 3 terms. Mm-hmm. And it's lifetime access, so you have them forever. I know
who we can block.
Someone wanted us to cover fisheye perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will talk about color theory later. Maybe we'll do like a little demo or something. Like fisheye perspective it's a difficult perspective. I don't want to talk about it for too long, but essentially you draw a circle. This circle represents a 180-degree cone of vision, so up, down, left, and right. If you're drawing a standard fisheye lens, it's going to look something like this. So the distance from the center to the side is 90 degrees. And this in here is basically your 1-point perspective. So if you're familiar with 1-point perspective, horizon line, vanishing point, box, this is literally this. This vanishing point is 1-point perspective, except the lens is going to curve your verticals and horizontals, so you end up getting this sort of thing. You can divide this in half, you can divide this in half, and you curve this around like that and connect it to the bottom. And we curve this around and connect it to the bottom. And then we can divide this in half. So you know in 1-point perspective how all your verticals and horizontals are straight? Mm-hmm. Well, in fisheye perspective, we connect them to dots. So instead of straight, it's like an arc. Okay? And so it ends up looking like, if I could draw...
like an eye.
It ends up kind of looking like this. Now, 2-point perspective. So you know how 2-point perspective is kind of like this? And again, fisheye requires you to understand the perspectives that come before it, because fisheye perspective is everything before it plus a couple of extra things. So if you're drawing in 2-point perspective, you know how you got a vanishing point on the left and the right? Well, these vanishing points, are actually these vanishing points right here. Like that. All right? Like that's the concept of it. So because this is directly to your right, and this is directly to your left, and this is above you, and this is below you. So what does a box look like here? Well, a box would look like this. You're looking straight at it. You're looking at it in 2-point perspective. You're looking at it from the side. It's rotating 90 degrees. And then right here, it would look like, you know, whatever this. This is like Cren's cubes, kind of. Right? And right here, you have this.
Ooh. And look at those verticals. They're nice and curvy.
Yep. And then up here, you'd have the same thing. So it would come from here, like all of these lines. This is your Z. And again, fisheye perspective is really boring for most people to learn. It looks very flashy, but like I said, it requires everything before it plus extra. Because now you're curving all your lines.
Fox asks, how do you draw the back to the vanishing points when it's more than 3 points, I'm guessing?
Huh? I guess I don't really understand the question. We can add extra lines here.
I wish I could like install this in my brain because I'm actually understanding it for once. Awesome.
Yeah, you'll have to practice it in order to really understand it. There we go. And so, like, if we draw a box, you know how normally a box would be like this? And you'd have this would be straight like that. Well, in a fisheye lens, it's not. It's curved. So that same box would look like this.
What country is the school in?
It's online.
It's online.
So you can take it from anywhere. So this box right here is this box, basically.
This is called fisheye perspective.
Yeah, this is fisheye perspective. So instead of these going straight up and down, they're going to vanishing points on the top and the bottom. So a box up here, you're like really, really seeing the bottom of it. It looks like this. It's extreme. Like this goes back to the middle vanishing point. So you're seeing the bottom of it, right? So normally you can't see that far. Like your entire lens would be like this. If I have like 2-point perspective or something, like a 2-point perspective shot, and I'm looking up, it's going to look like this, right?
How old do you have to be to take the classes? We recommend at least 13 and older.
Yeah. But instead, we can see up, down, left, and right at the same time. So, you know, we have like a platform or something here. And if you're asking about drawing like people in this, if you can't draw boxes like this reliably every single time, like I wouldn't even really attempt drawing people. I would just continue learning more about just drawing boxes and simple stuff in fisheye perspective, because it's hard. Like fisheye perspective is very counterintuitive, and it requires everything before it plus extra. What are the extra things? The extra things are your lines are curved instead of straight, and you have really, really, really extreme foreshortening.
Do you guys do classes on character design? Yes.
Yeah, we have a class on character design in our school.
And you design 3 characters and make character sheets for them.
See? And we can go...
Can you mute that person?
Why?
Burfield. They're just being annoying.
I don't see it.
On TikTok.
I don't see anybody. This person?
Yeah, that person. They're just being annoying throughout.
Oh, there it goes. Thanks, Fox.
Thank you, Fox.
Yeah, I'm not reading chat right now. I'm drawing.
You locked in. That's all good.
Okay. But anyways, let's shrink this box down just a little bit so we don't get a tangent.
This is Photoshop that he's using.
See, there we go. And if we want to kind of isolate these sides out so we can actually see them, it looks kind of like this. Right, maybe here's like the bottom of this one. What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say everybody wants to draw in fisheye perspective, but like nobody wants to put in the practice to learn how to do it and do the exercises. Like, I would literally recommend drawing like 20 of these grids. 20 of these grids and filling them completely full of boxes, right? You draw a circle, you draw a plus sign, you find the middle of these, you arc it over. This will not, like, drawing 20 of them will not get you good at it. It'll be like a good start. This kind of thing. Here's your middle. This is your fisheye perspective grid. But you have to understand that, like, this is not the only fisheye perspective. The fisheye comes from the lens. It looks up, down, left, right at the same time. It's a rounded lens. So this is the part that always confuses people. You want to know something? This is also fisheye perspective.
Ooh. What do you think I should do after having a somewhat understanding of boxes? Apply it with your drawings. Use it all. Like,
yeah. I would say if you have a somewhat understanding of boxes, I would say focus more on proportion and perspective next. Because if you can draw random boxes, that's one thing. But if you can draw a box that's a specific depth and height, that's like what you want. If you go like, okay, here's a box and I'm going to make it and I'm going to double it down like this. So this is 1/2 and this is 1/2. Once you get good at this sort of thing, that's when you're going to start drawing blocky people, because now you can actually measure things, because, you know, you don't want your people to be stretched super far. So this is also fisheye perspective, right? This will be maybe about here. And this is a sick perspective. I have a whole lesson on fisheye perspective, I think, on our YouTube channel.
yeah. I think it's called like this might be the most important perspective video you'll watch or something like that. Something along those lines.
Look at this.
When should I start drawing in circles and ovals?
Huh?
I don't know if there's a when or a... I use circles or oval forms depending on if it's the easiest form to draw for a particular thing. So it's not just like random circles and ovals. It's like if you want to simplify a head into like an oval form, I don't mean a shape, it's form, I can use that. You know, when I'm drawing a head, I start off with a circle and then turn it into a sphere. I don't know if that makes sense. Is your name the same on YouTube? Yes, it is.
Yep. So what would a box look like on this? It would look like this.
Ooh.
So this is also a fisheye lens. This is a tilted horizon line. It depends. I would say this is probably the horizon line if we want it to be. So this is our horizon line. And here's a building in a city. There we go. And we got another building behind it. Maybe a taller one over here. Nope. I love drawing in fisheye. It's really fun.
It is really fun.
Oh, come on. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. And then this is actually beyond you. So this one right here, this would be down. Like that. So you could draw boxes like this. You could have one down here maybe. That comes up above the horizon line.
How did you construct the grid? Colton showed how to do this earlier in the stream. If you want to rewatch it, you can go to our YouTube.
So the thing about fisheye grids is that the circle is, this is the rules of fisheye perspective. The circle is 180 degrees.
Colton's explaining it now, though.
Vanishing points, they're 90 degrees apart. So if I have a circle and I know that one end to the other is 180 degrees, what would 90 degrees be? It'd be half the circle. So I can take half the circle and I can place it anywhere I want, and those will be 90 degree vanishing points. Because again, like a box is 90 degrees, right? One of your vanishing points is down there, one of them is down there, 90 degrees. When you're drawing in 2-point perspective, like this, that, and that, right? 2-point perspective, which is very common. These vanishing points are 90 degrees apart. These are 90 degrees apart. So like I said earlier, this, which is like my Z, and this, which is like my right X, the distance between these two is 90 degrees. So I could actually pick up these vanishing points and move them anywhere I want inside of the circle. And as long as I keep them 90 degrees apart, I'm good. However, depending on where they are in the circle is going to change the line curvature, which brings us to our third rule. You ready for this one? Because this one's hard to understand. 3. Perspective lines. I should say the, lines. Perspective lines. Perspective lines. They curve around the center line of the circle. Curve around circle center. Remember how I said that fisheye drawing is everything before it plus a couple of extra things? These are the 3 extra things. And of course, there's a lot of foreshortening, but I won't go into that right now. So if I want to draw a perspective grid in a fisheye grid, right? I'll draw a circle. Better circle. That's a circle with my arm, and this is a circle with my wrist.
Oh, yikes.
But anyways.
Draw with your wrist, guys.
So, number 1, circle is 180 degrees. All right, got arm. That. Number 2, vanishing points are 90 degrees. Okay, so let's just say we'll take half of the circle, and we'll just, I don't know, take this and put it right here. So here's a vanishing point, and here's a vanishing point. And this distance right here is half of the circle. So if this circle is 3 meters, the distance between the vanishing points is 1.5. And no matter where I move these vanishing points, it's still 1.5 because it's relative to the circle. Okay, now the next thing. I need the center of my circle. Why do I need the center of my circle? Because I need to know where the lines curve around. Right? Remember rule number 3? Perspective lines curve around the center of the circle. Meaning this. Like a pie. Like how you would cut a pizza with a pizza cutter. All right. And then if I have so this line right here, because it hits the center of the circle, it's going to be straight. Now what happens? All of these lines bend around the middle of the circle like a magnetic field. It goes like this. Zoop, 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 zoop. And zoop. Zoop. They bend around the middle of the circle. Zoop. 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 We'll just do that. So what does a box look like on this? Well, it just looks like this. Right? And then what does a box look like? Here's our top and bottom, because remember, we're going up and down too. So we have the top and bottom vanishing point.
Nope.
So what would a box over here look like? What would look like this?
If it looks weird, that's kind of the point.
Yep. There's a box on our right. So this could be like a street. And down the street is down there. Right, and what does a box over here look like? Looks like this. See? You can put the vantage points anywhere you want as long as you follow these things. I don't really ever see this taught anywhere. Like, I learned it partially from Gene Bond and partially from physically buying a fisheye perspective lens that attaches to my phone and taking a bunch of pictures. Where is it? Where's my fisheye lens at?
It's probably one of those drawers. Yay, we have one. Woo! Fisheye perspective lens.
And you can actually check this. Do you want to draw
a vanishing point?
Let's test it, chat. Where's my camera? Here it is. Oh, sick, dude. Let's test it. Straight lines.
Hopefully mine are straight enough. Whoa! Yeah, maybe I'll move this a little bit higher. Look at that curvature.
See how every time a line goes through the center of the lens, it's straight? But if it's not, it starts curving? Look at that.
Wow.
Like that. So that's what I drew earlier. So the vanishing point, the lines are straight. They're just being curved by the camera lens. And the camera lens behaves in a very predictable way. What is the way that the camera lens behaves? This. Perspective lines curve around the center line. Like this. What?
Someone is asking, how do you... Well, they're saying in an interesting way. How do you bend the orthogonal lines mathematically perfectly, though? So I'm guessing they mean, how do you draw the curved line so perfectly?
Use a 3D program.
Yeah.
It's all guesswork. Mm-hmm. Like, you could mathematically figure it out, and you'd probably spend a whole bunch of time plotting it, but nobody did that. No, not even Kim Jong-il. Like, you would use a computer program to do it. And it depends on the camera lens. Like, this is another thing, right? It varies so much, because imagine I'm taking a picture and my camera lens looks like this. I'd probably have my standard fisheye lens, right? It'd be like this. You're assuming that all fisheye lenses are the same, I would say. They're not. This lens would probably look like this. Imagine if my fisheye lens looked like this. And then flattened out.
Oh, yeah.
How would the perspective grid look for that one? Well, it would probably look like this.
Could you technically draw normally and then add a filter of it or no?
No. Because the foreshortening would happen fast.
It wouldn't be... Like, when you draw normally, you're in a fixed perspective. And it works differently on fisheye.
Yeah.
You would have to, like, manually change a lot of things.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the mathematical calculation that would give you the exact lines for this one are different than this one. And depending on the manufacturer, fisheye lenses are different. Like, you'd have to know the exact curvature of the lens. And that's why I'm like, use a 3D program. Because the 3D program can calculate the exact curvature of the lens. But guessing it, because it's like someone will be like, oh, this line is a little bit off, and you'll be like, yeah, but what if the lens isn't actually like this? What if it's more like this? Then the line's not off. It's like, what if you have like a ripple lens, right? 3D could do this. What if it's like this? Then your stuff is all over the place, right? Your perspective bridge probably looking like this.
Ooh. Oh my.
In which case, it's like the distortion of like liquid or water or something, you know what I mean?
Ripple lens, interesting.
Like a what do they call them? Bottle glasses or something?
Oh yeah.
It's like those silly glasses that you used to get as a kid that made you look like a nerd. But anyways, like that's the way that I think about it. Is the lens could be any curvature, but these three rules, they're more tools than rules. Like there's always exceptions, but this is big. The circle is 180 degrees. Your vanishing points are 90 degrees apart. Your perspective lines curve around the circle, the center of the circle, no matter what axis, right? And then everything before it applies. So all stuff before this applies. Mm-hmm. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, foreshortening, all that kind of stuff applies. So it's like doing everything before it except the three extra complicated and confusing things.
Is it the same with an oval shaped lens, like a football shape?
I would try it out. Get an oval shaped lens and see if it is. I don't know, probably. Like, I mean, your distortion is going to be different.
It just takes too long to be super hyper accurate. You'd might as well just use a 3D program.
I would use a 3D program if I was going for super complicated stuff. Otherwise, I'm keeping it relatively simple. Like the odds, like nobody's ever going to get to the point where they're doing that.
Yeah.
Not insanely high level artists. It's like pain for the sake of pain.
Yeah. Masochistic. I saw a question earlier. I don't know if they're still here, but someone was asking, what can you cover like the skin and how the skin and all those areas connect the arm to the torso area? And so I do have a tip for that. I recommend drawing your torso in the simple forms. We always talk about simple forms. That's just it's so important, because if you're just trying to draw with outlines, like you don't really know what's happening inside. So I really recommend drawing like this. And then when you add in extra stuff, you can use this as a base. So what happens when you want to connect the arm to the torso is you have certain muscles that connect it. You have your clavicle, first of all, because that's a really important part to show. The end of your clavicle is where your muscle or your shoulders start. Your shoulder muscle wraps around, and it also connects to the it also connects to the pec. So this form connects the shoulder to the chest. And then you'll get this armpit area, which is caused by the lats, which is part of your back muscles, and your ribs. So like that's why you get this kind of form right here. And then of course you get like your other arm muscles. So like you can keep that in mind if you need to. Hi Apple. Applejack's here. How do you draw cylinders in fisheye view? I wouldn't know about that. Colton might know. How do you do female anatomy using boxes?
You draw, like I said earlier, everything before applies. So you would draw a cylinder in fisheye perspective the exact same way you would draw a cylinder in normal perspective, except you're just applying those three things on top. It's no different. You find a square in perspective, you can divide it up. You can use an ellipse guide. Like, there's a lot of stuff before fisheye perspective that people will be like, oh, how do you do this in fisheye? It's like the exact same way, except you just curve the lines on the grid instead of draw them straight.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same.
Draw a cylinder normally first through by constructing in grids, and then do the same process just in fisheye.
Yeah, you would find a square in perspective. You'd find your minor axis. You'd figure out the degree of the ellipse. Like this, none of that has anything to do with fisheye drawing. Fisheye lenses are just really, really wide lenses that curve. It's the same as everything else. So if you want to learn how to draw a cylinder in a fisheye lens, learn how to draw a cylinder in a non-fisheye lens. Yeah, it's like that. Except your lines are just curving, so the lines, like, I mean, in Christina's view, it wouldn't be that curved.
Wouldn't be that curved. Unless you're drawing like an upward facing cylinder like this. Mm-hmm. But I would use a box to help with that, to find those angles. And I just go back to the vanishing point, make sure these are curved for the most part. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of just roughly drawing it just to test it out, you know.
Yeah, just remember that, like in fisheye lenses, the foreshortening happens really, really fast.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have that applied as well. So it's like, yeah, cylinder and fisheye perspective is similar to that. But you would learn all that in a perspective class that just teaches cylinders in normal perspective. So I would definitely take a class like that.
Macaroni. Yeah.
Scott Robertson's book talks about that, how to draw environments or how to draw objects and environments from imagination. I believe Framed Perspective talks about it, probably in volume 1.
We think in your school, are we talking to you guys or like other people? It's a self-paced class.
It's self-paced. It's online,
it's
so it's kind of like a recorded college.
Mm-hmm.
But the Discord role you get when you join the school, you can chat with other people that are enrolled.
Yep.
So you go through it at your own pace. You wouldn't necessarily be in the same place in the school that other people are in. Mm-hmm. You don't have to show up for classes at a certain time. You can put it down and pick it back up whenever. Mm-hmm. So it's super flexible.
We do have a mentorship version where you will be meeting one-on-one. That's more expensive though, but that's also on the page. You can check that out if you want as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to cover color theory?
Yes, just one thing.
One thing.
To explain to you how, in fisheye perspective, it's more important to get the effect of fisheye than making everything perfectly accurate. At least if you want to be an artist that's communicating an idea. So, for example, you can even look at someone like TB Choi.
Yeah,
TB Choi is an artist, a very, very good artist, and she will draw characters in fisheye perspective. Here's an example of it. So this perspective right here takes place on this grid right about here. So this shot is right here, or around that point. Now you will see that this curves and goes downwards. So this is going towards our bottom vanishing point, right? That's our point down here. Here's the horizon line, straight line. Here's the center of our lens, straight line, right? But look, this one's not really curved. It's just pointing straight down there, right? It's not like, because technically it should be this, right? This should be curved. I mean, if this is a fisheye lens, all this should be curved.
Someone asked an interesting question. Why choose this over college?
Why choose what over college?
Why choose what exactly? You mean like the stream, or do you mean like our art school?
Oh, the art school? It's self-paced. It's super affordable. If you work for a living, you can go through it. I mean, like, college is a really big commitment, right? You're going to classes, you're showing up. I think, actually, we get a lot of people who are going to art school that also take our classes supplementally. Because you own it forever. They're all recorded. They're all organized. If you get busy, you can come back to it. If you can't quit your job, if you don't want to move for college. And a lot of colleges also don't offer like the stylistic stuff that we offer, which is like anime style, because we cater towards people who want to draw in a stylized way. Like we teach the realism stuff, but we refer back to, okay, so you want to make your own manga, let's figure out how to turn this into a more anime-ish looking character. Yeah. But the main reason is it's super flexible and affordable. But anyways, you can see that here's, look, this is the center, and these are all coming out. Look at this. So this is the, you can even see her lines here. So she's using a fisheye lens. It's not even that accurate of a fisheye lens, but she understands that this is curving down and around. It's like, it's accurate enough. And like, this is Valorant art. Like, if it's accurate enough for Valorant, it's probably accurate enough. Like, it's like almost right, but it's more of like an informed correctness, right? Like in like a, and look at this, here's a 90-degree angle. So this arm is in a different perspective. It's at 90 degrees. So what did she do? She found a different vanishing point down there. You can see her perspective line right here. Look at that. Boom. This whole guy is in a different perspective than this guy right here.
Is it worth it to buy a graphics tablet? If that fits your lifestyle?
It depends.
It depends.
If you're going to draw and use it, then yeah, probably.
I would also say, to add to the college thing, not all colleges are the same either. Not all colleges teach the same things, and not all colleges will probably have classes that you want. We cater to people who want to learn, like, actually how to get better at drawing, and some art colleges don't provide that. So, you know, that's another reason why we offer our program. I don't know if the creative Nick is here. They asked an interesting question. They said, have y'all seen the lasso fill tool for anatomy? Basically using the lasso tool to fill or block out main anatomy shapes like body parts. Just curious about your thoughts on that method.
Yeah, like, you can use that method. It's totally fine. There's many ways to get to the end result. And generally, people who are using that, they know
their shapes
form
and
drawing.
Forms, yeah. Like, I could definitely draw a body with the lasso tool. You know, this is a pack. You're just using...
Oh, yeah, there's a deltoid.
Yeah. Here's the deltoid. I just know the specific shapes that will make up those parts.
Yeah. You can keep going with that if you want.
Yeah. Kind of just...
Like, it's kind of just working, starting with this, like, the silhouette of parts of the body. It's the same process. Like, there's a latissimus dorsi. It's like, how would using the selection tool magically teach you what the serratus anterior is, like what Christina's putting in? Like, it won't. It's like, if you know it, if you know how to do it, you can use whatever method you want to draw it. Like, it's people play with how they do it.
Yeah. Like,
there's the trapezius.
Colton knows.
And it's like, boop, there we go.
And it feels accurate.
Like, whether she draws it with a line, whether she draws it with the fill tool or the selection tool, it's like, it doesn't matter. She's thinking in terms of volume. So, like, I would say it's great. It's super fun. A lot of people do that. It can make you more creative because a different approach can yield slightly different results. And so a lot of designers will start with silhouette.
Yeah. It's fun. It's great.
It is fun.
It's if you know what you're doing and you understand the, like, forms, like, it's easier to use lasso tool.
I would say there's no secret embedded in it. It's just a different way to start the stuff that you can already do.
Yeah.
That it gives you a different path to get there. It's like, if you drive and you know how to get to the store, if you know where the store is and you know the layout of the roads, it's taking a different road. And maybe you'll avoid traffic, or maybe you'll run into something that you didn't know was there before.
Yep.
It's like, using the method doesn't teach you anatomy. It's a different approach.
Yeah. It's a different way to break things down, or, you know, it's more, it's like stylistic choice. Well, like, what I'm doing here is the same as I'm doing on the lasso tool. I'm just not filling it in.
Fox forgot to mute them the whole stream. I've been learning shape capturing like Pokemon. Just realized I could actually be pretty good at the lasso tool since I know shapes. Interesting. Interesting.
Ooh, this needs to get fixed.
Thank you for covering fisheye. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Colton's great at teaching fisheye. We, like, when it comes to teaching fisheye, it can go both. It can go like either way. Like some people are like, I want to do fisheye, but then like the rest go like snooze fest. But then there's also a really good group of people that are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I've been always wanting to learn fisheye, and they really pay attention. So if you're that person, you know,
yeah,
thanks for being here.
Yeah, like hearing about stuff only gets you so far, which is not far at all. Like you have to actually practice stuff and do exercises. That's why students in art schools and who actually do homework get so much better, is because like learning how to draw comes from actually doing it.
Yeah.
You won't get better just watching tutorials. It'd be very minuscule. Ooh, nice. You guys have appeared on my FYP 2 times today, and I was intrigued both times.
Oh, thank you. If you want to do like poses, it's not necessarily about the anatomy. So I know that you're doing a study on anatomy for that one particular person. I would get a specific reference of the pose you want, and once again, break it down like this. Like, you can always add anatomy later, but if you don't have this generally in the right spot, it will become very difficult to add anything else. Like, I know I'm kind of doing like a really foreshortened pose right now, but like this is exactly what I would do for building this thing up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is this specific cylinder going away from me? Does it look like that? Yes, it does. It is not about, oh, here's my deltoid, here's my bicep and tricep, and I don't really know how the forearm is, so I'm just kind of go with what like my gut tells me to, but like you don't really know. This will help you know. Do this first, and then add extra stuff afterwards.
Have you guys done color theory yet? No. You were the one who asked about it? Hopefully, because we're about to cover it.
Yeah. You can cover it if you want now.
I still didn't figure out what I wanted to cover exactly.
What do you want to know specifically about color theory? Because color theory is a very broad term.
Yeah. And it's not subject specific. So it's like if you're drawing a car, if you're drawing a tree, if you're drawing a house or a person or an animal, color theory doesn't really care. It's more about like the appeal of colors.
Maybe we can show some examples of artists that have really cool colors, so we can have something to work with.
Sure.
I do have a body drawing video Evolve creates. If you want to check that out, how I build the forms and the proportions, I start from the very beginning on that video. It's on our YouTube channel, Draw Anime Academy. It's called How to Draw. If you hate drawing bodies, do this. It's a great video.
You like my hat? Thank you. I like it as well.
I can also kind of just say some things that helped me with color theory. Color theory really started clicking for me when I understood more about values and grayscale and lighting. Because color makes you feel things. It's not about how you can see things. Like value and shadows and all that stuff helps you to see things. And then however you feel is what the color does. So color relationships, all that stuff has to do with the environment around you. And if you don't know how to shade, if you don't know how to, think about local value or all these terminology that I'm talking about, like it's going to be hard to do color theory. Because really any color can work well together if it's intentional. If you have a really good intention with and you understand relationship between colors, you can basically use whatever color you want.
Yeah.
So one of the relationships is like warm versus cool. Warm light, cool shadow, or cool light, warm shadow. That's a typical relationship. So
yeah, or you could have warm light, warmer shadow, in which case it would mean that the warm light is actually the cool.
Yeah. So like, oh, that's not
So
good.
it's like red light, orange shadow. Well, the red would be the cool.
Yeah.
Even though red is, warmer than some other stuff like pinks and purples and blues and greens.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, yeah, warm lit side, like maybe this is patch of grass or some kind of light green, warm green color. I chose a warm green because that's what I wanted. It's really hard for me to show this on iPad because the colors are kind of weird. But Colton will do another extra demo on this. So like here's like a warm green. I'm going to place in my shadow, but if I don't know how to shade a sphere, it's going to be useless. So If you know what how to shade a sphere, it kind of looks like this, right? This is what the shadow looks like. For me, I put in a shadow color, and it's a cooler green than this warm green right here. So like this, to most people, feels very harmonious, feels very good because it feels natural.
Yeah, and here's an example of the colors that Christina just showed.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this was a demo that I did on stream a while back on one of our 10-hour-long streams, and you can see, look, there's those exact colors. It's the light and the shadow in the grass, and there it is.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I've got a light, I've got a dark, and then there is a relationship between the colors. She's decided the light hitting the grass is going to be warmer,
yep,
and the shadow is going to be cooler, and so there's a relationship between them.
Mm-hmm. And then what happens is people forget that, and so they'll be like, okay, I'll have warm color or warm light, cool shadow, but then everything else will be very mismatched. Like they won't make it consistent. They won't make the lighting consistent. They won't make the color relationships consistent. Mm-hmm. So like if I were to add I'm being like Colton now. If I were to add a white ball, I would have to keep in mind, okay, my ball is going to be hit by a warm light, so that means my color of this ball will probably be a warm white, which means it's not pure white that's really cool like this, but rather kind of tinted, maybe with a bit of yellow. This will still look white to you. In fact, let me darken this just a tiny bit so it's easier to see on stream. So like, okay, this can be a white ball that's warm white. If I want to make a shadow, I'm not going to suddenly change my lighting to like yellow or green. I'm going to keep it, pretty cool. So that means maybe using a bluer tone for my shadows. And now this is consistent with this. But people forget that because it's like, it's not easy to keep all those things in mind. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's like your white specular. Maybe that's even warmer. So if you know those relationships, feels a lot easier to think about color. Still lifes is a really great way to think about it as well, because when you have an actual still life of things that you've set up and an actual like warm or cool temperature light that you know what to where to place, then all those colors don't feel like they're random anymore. They feel purposeful. Wouldn't that just be shading though? Exactly. I mean, like, yeah, this is technically shading, but you're adding color. You're just filling it in with a color. Yeah, it's no different than shading.
Shading's just a verb.
Yeah, shading's just a verb. Like, I can't do this if I don't know. Let me see if this will work. Like, if I can't do this in grayscale, it's much harder to make them harmonize in color. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my comments on it, my simplified comment on it. But then, of course, it gets a lot more complicated when you're doing portraits and stuff. I have a few demos where I've kind of played around with color relationships. Let me try to find it. I know it's here somewhere. Here it is. So, like, I think about what are their neutral colors? What's their base colors? What's their initial relationship without all this stuff added to it, right? Light skin, dark brown hair, warmer highlights. I keep in mind of all this stuff so that when I add in a background or a colored background and an extra light, I'm still keeping the relationship same, even though these colors are not exactly like this, right? Like the background is affecting the color. So like this color becomes this cooler tone that doesn't look like skin tone if you're just leaving these two together, like alone without any context. But it feels like skin or hair or whatever in the image because your brain is smart. You can tell all these things apart.
Yeah, your brain is able to pick these things up. Is good at it because if it wasn't, you would crash and die all the time when you're driving because your brain has to be able to understand things very quickly and get the gist of what's happening.
Mm-hmm. All my colors look so muddy and I can't seem to fix it. Any tips? It's your value structure.
The colors aren't muddy. Values are.
Yeah.
How do you make sure your colors have good values before you start a drawing? Create a value structure.
Yeah.
So restrict yourself. So usually people will start off with two values, or they'll, rather than even just two values, they'll go what's light and what's dark, and then they'll separate from that.
Yeah.
So I teach this in my painting class a bit, but I can give you a little example really quick. Here is a still life that I did in one of my classes in our anime art school, all right? And so my first step was to separate light and dark, whether it's black and white, whether it's gray and a little bit darker gray, it doesn't matter. This is like me organizing light and dark, all right? Second step, within the lights and within the darks, I'm like going one step further. And in this case, I took my light and I said that's as light as it is.
You decided on those
and then
things.
I went 2 steps darker. So I went inside of the dark, I went here's a darker and here's a darker, still keeping it very organized. And then when I added color, all I'm doing is I'm keeping the relationship of lights and darks and I'm just adding my color, right? Now what's like the kind of the color scheme in here? Well, obviously the vase is red. The lemons are yellow, pretty warm yellow. The cloth is a little bit cooler of a yellow. And overall, I have a warm light. I have a relatively warm light. And so you can see the shadow here.
Someone asked, new to colors, what does value mean?
Value is lightness and darkness. So think white all the way through gray to black. When someone says the word value, they just mean the lightness and darkness. Because if you say gray is like 0 saturation, but value means, like, if I say the value of red, I would mean the lightness or darkness of red. But if I say gray, that would mean like black and white. So it's just kind of an artistic term to differentiate. But anyways, you can see if I've got my red here, right? Orange being like my warmest and blue being like my coolest. If I've got my red here, you can see that it's a relatively warm red. If I move over here, you can see it moves a little bit deeper into red and away from orange. And if I move over here, you can see it moves more towards pink. So it's getting cooler compared to my light. So I've set up a scheme of my lights are warmer and my shadows are cooler. Now, you have to also understand environmental factors because, wait a second, this orange right here is warmer than this yellow. I thought my shadows were supposed to be cool, but that's because we got bounce light coming off of this red and warming it up. My value structure is still the same. I still have my separation of light and dark. And now that I have my value structure, which is this, I'm free to play with color. And as long as I don't break this, I have a lot of wiggle room. There's really a lot of wiggle room in this. Color's very flexible. It's very open to interpretation what you want. This is the stuff that, like, you probably want to get right. And that's why a lot of people will start with composition sketches. I don't have my composition of outdoor painting, but they'll start with little pencil thumbnail sketches, right? You've probably seen these. They'll be like, it's like these little 2 value or 3 value pencil thumbnail sketches that look like this. This is them solving that problem. And then they just go, as long as I don't break this, I'm going to proceed into detail and color. This is the important part. Because if you mess this up, the whole image falls apart. And so that's what I did right here. I made a little tiny sketch. And I just went, I'm going to separate light and dark, separated them into more, and then as long as I don't break this right here, we're good to proceed to the end. And that's like the process, right?
Yeah, colors are trippy when you don't understand it's like you need to understand some prerequisite knowledge before like tackling color. That's not to say you should only do like a bunch of grayscale and then do color. I would say do some grayscale and then try it with color. Like when we see things in color, we don't just see them as, oh, that's a dark green and that's a warm green. Like we think that's a warm green and it's medium tone, like medium value. So we see both versions. I think when people get color theory and they get really confused, they only see things as the color, not the structure. And so like that tends to be a hard thing to grasp as well. That's what I found was really difficult.
Oh. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about art foundation, we're talking about these kind of things. Like when we say foundation, we're talking about this sort of thing, which is like knowledge on how to use a process, like doing a sketch. Like when you're sketching, there's like sketch topics that you're thinking about. Mm-hmm. Composition, value structure, story. When you're rendering, there's rendering things that you're thinking about. Core shadows, cast shadows, hardness and softness of edges, right? And it's like all of the sketch stuff stays because it's like you're working with the most important, starting with the most important thing and working through the things that get like less and less important over time.
Mm-hmm.
And like artists will work in all different processes, but like when you're a student and you're in school, it's a really good habit to practice those individual important pieces, like doing 500 different really small pencil sketches of compositions. Like it helps you exercise that one muscle of like composition, or doing a whole bunch of color studies where you're thinking about colors and their relationships, doing a whole bunch of perspective exercises where you're doing a whole bunch of 1 point or 2 point or 3 point perspective scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you exercise those individual muscles and then you also practice putting them together.
Yeah.
And so when you see it like a professional working and they're painting and it's amazing and it looks like magic, it's because a lot of those things they practiced individually, they're now doing them at the same time. And then what students will do is they'll go, oh my gosh, they're doing everything at the same time. I should do everything at the same time. And then they get cooked. And they get depressed and they quit art. Like, it happens all the time.
I'm doing like a little experiment where it's like I'm just using random colors for these shapes, but this is where you can get to something really abstract. And it's like you can start, if you have your shapes right and it's easily understandable, any color can work. Like you can tell that this is the person, and all these green areas are shadow areas. This blue is hair. Like you can easily tell that because your brain works that way. And so that is where you can really get kind of trippy with it. But that's for like, you know, when you're more used to how color and light works in real life. And that way you can push and pull. Do you have any tips for more realistic sketches? I'm having some trouble with it. Realistic sketches, I don't exactly know what you mean by that, but if you're like trying to draw from life, I would really pay attention to proportion and really trying to keep the features locked in on that, because that's going to help with making it look realistic. I don't know exactly how much realistic you want, so that I would say the thing that can get you most realism is proportion and the form. Like I've done a lot of portrait studies, and their proportions are very specific.
I would say one of the main differences, would you agree with this, Christina? One of the largest differences between people who copy drawing and draw from imagination is one of them uses reference as a tool and the other uses it as like the end result.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like,
yeah,
if your goal is to draw from imagination, when you're drawing from a reference, it's like being used as a tool to help your imaginative drawings be better. Like,
it's a tool, yeah, for sure.
You may look up, I don't know, like you may have a color reference and it's just like, oh, I really like the worms and cools in this. And you may be drawing something completely unrelated subject matter wise, but you may have like an inspiration for something.
Yeah, it's like they use the reference as inspiration rather than as you said, the end goal.
Or it's like a tool, right? It's like, oh, I'm using the reference for a pose, or I'm using the reference for how the clothes are falling, or I'm using a reference for perspective, or I'm using it for composition.
Yeah.
It's like treating something like a tool rather than just going, I see a square there.
Yeah.
I kind of see a triangle right there.
I totally get what you're saying.
I kind of see does my drawing look like the reference? It's like, you know what I mean? And I don't, and like,
it's like they use that for vibes.
One is not wrong and one is not right. It's just, if your goal is to draw from imagination, think of reference as a tool. Yeah, it's like vibes. Yeah, if your goal is to draw from imagination, reference is extremely important. It's a tool in your tool bag. using reference, like the colors or the lighting or the value structure or the composition, or looking at it for perspective or information. Like if you're trying to draw, I don't know, a certain type of architecture, you may find reference on that architecture and be like, oh, I see a lot of detail here. I see the forms are going like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never had an interest in drawing from purely observation. Like I'd watch TV shows. Like I grew up watching like The Iron Giant or certain shows, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so inspiring, that's so cool. Like I was always inspired to make my own thing. I didn't want to just like draw an actor. Like I didn't want to see a picture of like Tom Cruise and be like, I'm gonna draw that picture. Like I messed with it a little bit, but it was never really something I was that interested in. And when I found out you could actually draw from imagination and do it for a living, I was like, that's it.
Dang,
that's what I'm doing.
I find that drawing from imagination is like so much more, to me personally, like more gratifying. Like, oh, like I feel much more satisfaction just because it feels like it's my baby, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember as a kid, I made my own magical girl characters, and I made them like music themed, and I was so inspired by other things, but like I wasn't trying to copy, and it felt so much more like interesting and like, ooh, making your own lore. It's fun. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm. So guilty of copying my references. I don't think copying references are bad.
No, they're not bad.
It's just if you're like using it as a tool, right? Like you could copy a reference in order to understand it or in order to get practice or mileage. Like the only reason that I ever would copy a reference is because I'm trying to get better at drawing from imagination.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in drawing from reference for any other purpose than to make my imagination stuff better. Because that's my passion. Like I want to be able to draw my own characters and stories. But like there's nothing wrong with drawing from a reference or copying.
No, nothing at all.
I would just say that that's like the main difference, right? It's like, is the goal to draw the reference or is the goal to help something else? It's like tool versus end result.
Like one thing that helps me to get away from that, like just copying mentality, is I would have a reference and I would copy most of it, but maybe like let's say I have a pose that I want to generally have the idea of, but then I'll just put my own twist on it, kind of try to go away from the original reference and do my own spin. But like I use the reference as inspiration. It's kind of like that. Should I start taking art classes?
Depends.
If you want like a structured learning process and you're like, man, I just really got to lock in, I think art classes are fantastic. If you find that you're getting lost a lot of time with art and you're like, man, I just can't figure a lot of these things out, then yeah, take classes. But if you want to just do everything on your own and you're like, I'm just going to go with trial and error,
fine.
Totally fine as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just depends on your purpose.
People on social media tend to be so black and white thinking. It's like, it's like they'll give advice without considering the context or the goal of the person they're giving advice to.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always say, like, what is your goal?
Yeah.
And it could be fun to try out. Like your goal, like you may not know your goal and you're just like, I'll just try it for the heck of it. It sounds fun. Like that's totally valid. Totally fine.
Classes are there for people who are like, they want extra information that they haven't found by learning on their own. I don't know how to say it other than that. Like for me, I would have definitely not understood anatomy if I didn't take a class on it, because it's like I needed that information fed to me in an understandable way for me to get it, and I just have to practice. And it also puts me in an environment where I'm like, okay, I'm in school mode, and helps me handle it better. So classes are great for that. That's why we made our own classes. I teach anatomy very similar to the way how it helped me to learn anatomy the most. Specifically like the muscles and where their placements are. So like I have an analytical figure drawing class that covers both proportion, drawing the person holistically, and also specific anatomy. Someone says, thank you so much for the fisheye lesson. It actually helped me with perspective so much.
That's awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah. It's interesting. It is
one of my favorite things to talk about. It's just I don't want to say the word deep. It's like it's a topic that requires a lot of prerequisite.
Yeah.
So we don't talk about it that much, but I really do like it.
I think it's interesting because fisheye is actually a combination of a lot of different perspectives, which is why it's difficult.
Like fisheye perspective on its own, like, you know, it's like calculus or something. It's like every math thing that comes before it is included, like addition, multiplication, subtraction. It's like if you don't know the basics of perspective, it's not very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. Like, it's fun to dabble with it and mess with it at any point. But I mean, very rarely will an art class even cover fisheye because there's just so much before that that has to be learned. It's like, but it is a very fun topic. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. What topic are you going over today? We're covering multiple different types of topics. How you draw so small in Procreate without your strokes being all pixelated? It's because I have a big canvas size.
Yeah.
5,000 by 6,000 pixel canvas is what I'm using. I really don't know. I don't know how to start in anatomy after the boxes and formation. I don't know how to start with the muscles. Well, muscles is form on top of forms. So, like, for instance, you know, when I'm drawing this and I want to turn it into muscle, I'm literally just like drawing a blob on top of it. So like this pec is a 3-dimensional form that has sides as well. So it's not just a shape, it's a modified box. Right? And so you add that modified box onto another box and you add dimension. And you connect it onto those forms like this. And in turn, when you're adding extra muscle, you may have to change the initial box, right? You're not trying to build the box exactly and try to fit it into this box. Or did I say that wrong? You're not trying to fit anatomy into the box perfectly. You're just using this as perspective. So let me just do this real quick.
Yeah, it kind of doubles as a perspective grid and a way to like compare your proportions.
Yeah. So like I'm thinking this is not a shape, this is a form, and it's resting on top of this sphere. Not sphere, what am I talking about? This box. Oh, when I'm drawing in the rib cage, I know purposefully to maybe shrink this a little bit. But my perspective is still here. So I may need to modify this box and turn it more like this if I need to. So it looks more like a body afterwards. Right? This part, this box, this modified box looks like this. Same perspective as the original box. You're just like making it thinner. And then it makes it easier to add extra forms like, oh, the rib cage, and then adding in extra muscles. So like I always draw torsos because that's one of the areas that people want to learn about because it's attractive. So yeah, that's what I do. And then this right here is also a box. You can draw the muscles on top. And this wraps around the box, the front of the box, like this. So like, that's how I would morph him. You know, if I'm drawing like a female character, for example, I may just use a cylindrical body instead. Like, or kind of like a mix between cylindrical and boxy, depending on the area of the body. Like I may change the form of the waist to be more cylindrical, but the shoulder area more boxy. So it may look like this. Because bodies are dynamic. They're changing all the time. And then this area can be a cylinder or more cylindrical. But around the pelvis area, maybe this could be more boxy. So does that make sense? And then afterwards, you're adding extra form lines like center line. And when I'm drawing the center line, I'm not drawing a straight line. I'm dipping it because this describes what the abs are doing. This dips in, this comes out. This describes this form more clearly than I would just drawing like a, regular box. So you're adding both perspective and, flowiness, right? And that's a lot what I teach in our anime art school. Like I have you do this a lot. Like here's the basic proportions with, a lot of gesture. Here's form added on top, but you can still see I'm kind of adding a little bit of extra shape dynamics. So like this isn't a pure cylinder, but it's a modified cylinder, right? This leg isn't a pure cylinder, but it's kind of thicker on the sides and gets thinner towards the kneecaps. Same thing with these, right? You're just turning them into forms, and then you're adding muscle following what you've drawn. Here's another version. Right, like here's something that's more boxy because I feel like it was more appropriate at the time. Male bodies tend to have more of that boxier form, but everything else is like a modified cylinder or box, especially in the wrist area. You can see that this cylinder transforms into a box later to fit the hand.
Why does this feel so Dragon Ball Z?
It does. It's the interesting colors. They're on a different planet. The forms of that sphere kind of looks like a Dragon Ball Z pod of some sort. Would it be good to add wrinkles on a face? If not, I want to draw an anime face. Or not, if I want to draw an anime face. It just depends on what kind of wrinkles are you drawing. Like, I would not add wrinkles, a lot of excessive wrinkles, for cute anime girl faces, because that's not the point. If I want to draw adult, like, older people that are, like, middle-aged or, like, elderly, then yes, I will use wrinkles. If I want to draw an expression that requires the furrowing of the brows in a cute anime character, like this, I feel like the wrinkles would make sense at this point. Like, and most of the time, I'll just add, like, a tiny wrinkle. But if I'm drawing, like, a mouth, like this, and I add a smile line, look how much, the effect of the expression changes when you add a wrinkle, or when you add smile line. So just understand, you just got to be careful with what these wrinkles will do. It's not just adding wrinkles to add wrinkles, it's adding wrinkles for an effect. So like here, for the most part, when you're drawing a character like this, you're just playing with the shape of the mouth. You don't need to add a wrinkle to get the effect. You're just trying to play with the shapes. But this, to me, this wrinkle is more important because it shows overlap, and it also it makes the eyebrows feel more realistic. If I want to draw like a adult guy right here, and he's smirking, and he's supposed to look kind of shady, not to say like adding wrinkles makes anyone shady, it's more of the effect once again, right? If I want to make him look sneaky, adding that wrinkle might fit better than if I didn't add a wrinkle. And adding more wrinkles, like in the brow here, adds more of an interesting effect as well. It just, once again, depends on the situation. But if I add too many wrinkles, you might end up making, you know, crazy characters. I don't know. That's just the vibe.
Which is totally fine.
Totally fine if you want. So it's not like, oh, should I add wrinkles or not? Does your character require it? Everything's so subjective because I'm just like, it just depends. Everything depends. It's not this black or white thing. What brush are you using? You can get this brush on our profile for free. It's on this site. It is the green button. And make sure you open it outside of TikTok, or else you'll just get a bunch of numbers, I believe. But it works. How do you get used to drawing on the smooth glass of an iPad? I'm having trouble controlling my strokes compared to drawing on paper because of how slick the surface is. You might need to get yourself a, what's that thing called? A screen cover that has like a paper texture to it. That can help and give a little bit of, like, grit. Although, for me, you know, when I'm drawing on this, I've drawn on this so much that it's just worn away, so. What about expressive eyes? What kind of expressiveness do you want? Because it just, I keep saying it depends. Like happy eyes.
That is the only answer.
It is the only answer. It is the only answer. If you were to draw eyes and you want them to be extra happy, this eye probably won't cut it. You might need to widen the eye even more, make the pupil smaller. Like this. And of course, eyes alone may not give you the whole picture, so just keep in mind that the eyes plus the mouth plus the nose plus the brows will make the character feel more expressive. But like this with eyebrows generally feels pretty happy, right? That's like psychologically more happy. Or you can say this could be happy as well. I've seen a lot of animes where the person is smiling and their eyes are almost closed, but it's very round, it's very gentle, the eyebrows are gentle like this. You can imagine a smile with this eye and blush. And this would be very expressive as well, right? There's so many different ways. Like sadness. I guess I'll just give you like some examples of sadness, because you can have sadness where the eyes are completely closed, okay? and the eyebrows are low on the face. Eyebrows are going to be very contextual for this because sad eyes will almost always go upward, but in different stages. So like, I can use this eye again right here and make this person look very sad. But all I need to do is make the eyebrows not just do this, right? Because that feels a bit too intense. Maybe I need to wobble this a little bit more.
And put a tear.
And put a tear.
Yeah.
Like, this looks sad. This looks sad and expressive. So like, are they yelling sad? Are they like silently sad? Are they, X, Y, Z? I would really recommend finding animes that you really like their expressions of and the kind of vibe that you want. Take screenshots of their expressions in that particular emotion and do studies of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can also say, this is sad too. Eyes are wide. Tears, same upward facing eyebrow. This is sad too, but sad mixed with shock. So like, you can also mix emotions in it. You can have really, really sad. You can have disappointed. This looks like disappointed to me. This looks shocked and sad. So combine those things and see what things you can try, right? Seeing the eye makes sad makes me sad. Funny. Yeah, expressions are very much not like cookie cutter. You're not just doing this. This is a great simplification for how expression can work, but there's a lot of nuances, right? If you want to say someone who's angry, you can have someone who's pouting. And if someone's extroverted and cute, they may pout like this. They may have their eyes almost crossed, their pupils shown like pretty openly. And that's just the kind of vibe it gives. Is they're very cutesy, and so they pout like this, and it's almost childish, right? You can have angry, where a person is more serious and they're more silent. So maybe this character's eyes are straighter, their eyebrows are closer to their eyes, and you might have like wrinkles in the brows, but their mouth may be very straight. So now they look like they're giving you the stink eye. They really don't like you, but it's not as childish as this version. So like, that's what I'm saying, is it just depends. What do you mean by expressive? That is so cool, Colton. That is really, really cool. What do you mean by expressive? How expressive do you want it? What intensity do you want it? Do you want it mild, spicy, or very, very hot? And I would recommend doing a mild version and a extremely spicy version, and then trying to draw one in the middle and see where you get.
That's exactly what we do in our books.
Exactly.
Where is that one? Where is
that?
It's in the beginning?
Yeah, kind of towards the beginning.
Like after these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like
mild.
Thinking in terms of the dial, because it's like, it's not like an on-off switch, it's a dial.
Yeah.
Or it has like variation to it. There's a bunch of shades. It's like a little bit sad, super sad.
Yep, super sad.
Happy.
Oop.
Surprised.
Somewhat
intrigued.
Intrigued.
Surprised. Shocked. Flabbergasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
It's like
literally perfect.
Like very much, and different shows will show this in different ways, and different mangas will show this in different ways.
Yeah,
so
like
it's
tired, pretty tired, yawning. Right? Body language is very important too. This is like, oh my gosh, I'm like on my last legs, and this is like, I'm so dead. So dead. And different levels of anger, right? Closed mouth, you're looking mean, you're pretty angry, but you're not like flaming hot angry like this guy right here. What book is it? It is our second book, How to Draw Characters. You can get them on our TikTok shop or on Amazon. So you can take a screenshot of this.
Mm-hmm.
I love this book. It's our favorite book that we worked on. We also cover like a lot of different expressions for different characters as well. So like, for instance, sad on a kid character may not look sad on an adult character like this. You know, happy.
Contextual emotions.
Contextual emotions, exactly. So like, someone who's happy who's more mild, like this might be very rare for a very quiet character. But for someone who's very flirty, like she may be using this expression constantly. Shocked for dramatic lady versus shocked for a more reserved, emotionless character. And then shocked for a very silly character. I love doing these expression sheets. Make your own expression sheet for your own character. Like, this is super fun. An experiment. Like, I would always recommend that if you're working with different characters and you're like working with a specific expression, like try not to use the same decisions. Like here, her face looks almost as sad as what I did here. Right? I'm using that decision for this girl because she's supposed to look cute and she's supposed to look beautiful while she's sad. But this guy, he has big eyes. He's supposed to look funny when he's sad. He's supposed to look like a silly cartoon character. So I'm making different decisions. Right? This one, she's using different eye shapes. She has like crocodile tears, so she has like these like upward facing eyes. She's open, her mouth is open because she's wailing about her excuses, and she's like, oh my gosh, this person hurt me, I'm such a damsel in distress. Like, that's the vibe it gave me. So you can't find it on Amazon. You have to look up Anime Academy how to draw characters. It is this cover. It is on Amazon, unless Amazon doesn't ship to your, I don't know, doesn't work in your country. I'm not exactly sure, but
yeah, it might not ship to your country.
It might not ship to your country. So that could be a reason why. Brow up for listening? Yeah, exactly. Like raised eyes. Like raised eyes gives curiosity. So like you can have one that's like wide eyes. Like this. And then in combination with, oh, if this person is genuinely confused, maybe his mouth could be to the side like this, or just kind of open like this. Unless he's sneaky and he has a smile on his face. Now this gives a different context. I always like just trying out different kinds of combinations of things. Found it, TY? Awesome. I'm glad you found it. Yesterday I was working on my expression sheet for my character Birdman. He thinks everyone hates him because he's a weird bird man hybrid, but it's actually because he's a weird he has a weird ponytail. Oh, that's funny. That's cute. Like that, your expressions for that character will change dramatically than something else, right? Have a recommendation on how to find your own art style? Yes. Your art style will be determined based on your experience in drawing, what you like to draw, who you're inspired by, and, you know, the fundamentals. If you're inspired by a lot of shonen manga and cool action-packed, you know, manga styles, then your drawings will kind of naturally have that effect because you like drawing those things. If you learn the fundamentals, like the basics of drawing, like anatomy, perspective, all those things, that enhances your style. So you already naturally have a style. You just got to develop it. It's kind of like finding in an anime where they find a magic that works for them or whatever, because they already have like these inherent experiences in their lifetimes. Not in my country. Oh, I'm so sad about that. Sorry about that.
It's so funny. People will comment, this teaches me better than my actual art teacher. I'm always tempted to reply, that's because if I don't teach you, you're not going to watch my video. That's because if I don't teach it good, nobody watches it. No matter how bad of an art teacher you are, if someone is in your class, they kind of have to go through your class.
Yeah.
But if you're on social media, if you don't teach well, everybody leaves.
Everybody leaves.
Nobody watches it.
Yeah.
It's like merit-based content.
Merit-based content, yeah. How do you make your own OC? That'll depend. Oh, cute. That will you can do a lot of tests. So for me, if I draw a character and I actually come up with something cool and I like it, then that becomes my OC. Like this could become my OC at any time that I decided to. If you want to be more intentional about creating an OC, you would need to test out hairstyles, test out facial features. Like for me here, what I do, it's just a decision away. So what I do here is I will have different kind of face types. So like I'll have a face type with different hairstyles that I like, and I'm like, okay, here's an angry or solemn dude, here's a cheerful guy with curly hair, here's a, you know, mean guy, flirty, and then I do multiple variations and then I choose.
Oh, so much lessons.
There is a lot of lessons.
It's been like 45 minutes straight of
non-stop talking.
I mean, I've been doing my own little doodle on the side. Hey, Pompoof. Hey, Pompoof, if it makes you feel any better, half the time I don't know you're here because you lurk most of the time anyway, so you could have fooled me.
Yeah.
I know you. I know you show up for a long time because sometimes you'll be in the top viewers, and I almost never look at top viewers, just because we just chat with people in chat. But I wouldn't have known. We got a bunch of lurkers.
How many of you are lurking right now?
It's fun, yeah. Immediate follower, awesome. Hey Emma, how's it going? What do you recommend for digital art? Everything works pretty well. I've been caught. I am. Hello.
Nice. Hello.
Very nice.
I broke you out of your lurking streak.
Yeah, I've just been working on my own little.
Caught.
I've been working on my own little doodle thing here.
So cool. So cute.
It reminds me of Dragon Ball Z for some reason.
Literally.
I don't know why. I'm just messing around with stuff. I don't want that. At work right now, but I can sneak some glances every now and then. Very nice.
That's great. Yeah, I kind of went on a roll. I was in the flow state.
Oh yeah, flow state. I gotta go to the
Tinkle bathroom. Let's see how to draw hands using boxes. Yes, we are streaming all day Saturday. If you want to have a great time on the weekend, we're doing a 10-hour stream on Saturday. We're going to be doing a lot of things like Roblox Draw Me. We're going to be doing an event called OC Drawing, where we draw your OCs through a fun little game on Discord. We'll be doing a character design challenge there as well. So look forward to that. It's going to be super fun. Can we see how to use... my brain did not work there. Can we see how to draw hands using boxes? Do you have any tips for bodies? We do have a lot of tips for bodies. I in fact, worked on a lot of bodies today. You can go check out our YouTube channel. Our stream is currently up there as well. We're also streaming on YouTube. You can rewind to these points and see how I drew these. What do you use? I'm trying to become a digital artist. Use any digital medium that you want. If you want something simple and just like on the go drawing, an iPad plus Procreate might work for you. If you want to draw like committed drawing digital art and you're like on your desk, you can probably use what's it called, like Photoshop, Clip Studio, and a tablet. If you're a beginner and you just want to get started, Procreate might be great. Or unless you want to go free on the freebie route, Krita's great. Krita's great. IBIS Paint, a lot of people use constantly for free programs, but you'll need a device to use it, so that's some recommendations. Only just started the school, but your head course is so good. Oh, thank you! I'm so glad. I'm really proud of that head class, honestly, especially after the rework. I'm just like, I gotta improve it. Ooh, we're having steak curry tonight, Colton.
Let's go.
I'm excited. I like the steak curry. Bottom. Bottom. But I wish Chopits was on Crunchyroll. Is it still on Crunchyroll or is it not there anymore?
Never looked.
Oh, okay. We've been rewatching Diamond and Pearl, or I've been rewatching it. Colton's watching for the first time Pokemon series. I love it. Love it so much.
It is good.
Still pretty good, honestly, to this day. Aged pretty good. How do you get proportions so good? I've just done it a million times. You will be able to memorize it too if you learn this. Learn the proportional method. And then you do it over and over and over and over at every drawing. You constantly use it. I'm constantly still using it. I'm just using it in perspective. But that's how you get good at it. It is not magic.
Chat, is Pal World any good? Got anybody who plays Pal World? Hey, you also have a school? Yes, we do.
Yeah, we sure do. It's called
an
Anime
online
Art School.
program. It's a year long, and it is self-paced, so you can go through it at your own
pace.
Leisure.
Yep.
Pal World is fun.
What type of school? It's an online school, so it's self-paced, as Colton said. You watch videos, and we organize it as if you were going through like a college by week. So, for instance, we have 14-week classes, and you would go through each week, do the homework, and move on to the next week. That's the kind of vibe that
it's like a recorded college. So if you need the flexibility of being able to start and stop whenever you want, then it would be pretty good for you. And it's designed for people who want to be able to draw from imagination.
Yeah.
So it teaches you the fundamentals like perspective and anatomy, figure drawing, clothing drawing, heads, faces, expressions, hair, all kinds of stuff.
And yes, it is paid.
Yeah, it is a paid program. 4-year-old cousin loves Pal World with her parents.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
Girl with Tiger. School is so good, intense for a beginner. Nothing you do on the side. Huh?
What do you mean by nothing you do on the side? You mean like you don't really... I just want to understand the thing more. But I'm glad that you really like the school. It is intense for a beginner, but I wouldn't teach it any other way.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't.
We actually want you to get good.
Yeah.
It's not a... It's
not like a little daycare.
What do you call it? It's not a like draw the owl type program. It is hardcore fundamentals. Like you just enrolled in a design school, in a design college, and their goal is to have you become a professional artist. Like those are the classes that are in the school. You have to focus and work on it. Yeah, I love it. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel right teaching it any other way. Like, it's not like a program for people who just want to dabble a little bit. Like, obviously you could be a dabbler and take it, but
But it is designed for people who are serious.
Yeah. Like, this is the final from the first class. And you're going through and learning eyes. Like, I know a bunch of people ask about, like, eyes at different angles and stuff. That's all covered in depth. It's very hardcore in terms of you learn the deep stuff that matters, like perspective and heads, the sorrow heads, the skull, how to draw the different facial features, heads at different angles, lighting heads, like... It has a proper figure drawing class. It has a proper clothing drawing class. Like, you're going through the stages of drawing, blocking out your values, light and dark. And then you're in between. It's like Christina took a painting class from Bob Cotto in Art Center. He's like a really, 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 really good, well-known teacher. He taught the 5 value system.
Yep, he did.
You were doing, what, oils or acrylic?
Acrylic.
You were doing acrylic.
Stuck with me to this day.
This one's taught digitally.
Yep.
But it's the process that you would learn in a costume drawing class in like an art school. Like 5 value system, 7 basic folds, tension and compression, drawing it out, setting up the figure. This is not that.
Is it better than actual school? Because I've heard some bad stuff about design school, so I've always been scared to pursue.
It's certainly better than some of the schools I went to.
I agree.
It depends on your teachers.
It really
does. It is a fundamental program. This is based on the stuff that we learned in order to get hired professionally. Like I learned industrial design and I got hired straight out of school. And I teach the same stuff that I learned in there. Matte surface rendering, super important. Learning how to render primitive forms, calculate cast shadows. Like this is no joke. Like this is what you'd learn in like Scott Robertson's How to Render book. Learning how to light objects, cast shadows, everything, and then we go into more complicated stuff like this. Like, I do this entire room from scratch. This is like week 5 or 6 in my rendering and painting class. We go through everything from the very, very beginning. I'm talking how to draw boxes in 1-point perspective, very, very basics, all the way to lighting and rendering materials, all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of the stuff that I learned working professionally as well. Drawing objects in proportion from different angles. I'm really proud. I only teach 2 classes in the school, But I'm really proud of those 2 classes, like color theory, high key, mid key, low key, composition, thinking about your, what you're keying it to, what your light is. Okay, it's a warm light. There's going to be cool shadows from the sky. There's going to be warm bounce from the ground. Like, this is what you'd learn in like a landscape painting class. And we go through a whole bunch of stuff. Obviously, I draw in a little bit of a stylized way. Like, even my still lifes that I do, like, these are slightly stylized because I push the colors a bit. But I'm kind of assuming that the students want to draw in a little bit more of a stylized way.
We don't do animation.
No, we don't teach animation. We teach drawing foundation. So, like, this is the final stuff from my perspective class. This is 14 weeks long, and you end with stuff like this. And so these 2 environments right here, this one, we take this and we paint it 3 times. Here's one.
Yeah, if you want to pursue like 2D animation where you're drawing, you would need to learn drawing skills, and that that way foundation would be very important for you.
Here's 2, and here's 3. So we light it, we compose it in different ways. We take the same room and we light and color it 3 different ways. And then we do the same thing with the exterior. So like this one right here. Again, this is the final for the perspective class. It's 14 weeks long. Like, you've drawn a lot of boxes and cylinders and cones and objects in perspective up to this point. And then, boom, we paint it. So this environment, we paint it. And then we paint it a second time. And then we paint it a third time. But anyways, I really, like, I so wish I took a class like this when I was starting off. Cool. I took a bunch of good classes, but I really wish I had a class that was like that. What?
Yeah, technically you kind of taught like 3 classes in a way, but one of the classes is like 2 classes in one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like the rendering and painting is like 2 classes in one.
The painting class is huge. I mean, it's almost 50 hours of lessons.
Yeah.
Like, you learn all about lighting and rendering and calculating cast shadows. And then after we start going into color theory, I teach composition, like Edgar Payne's composition of outdoor painting, abstraction, composing. Like, there's a lot of design in that class too.
Yeah, there is. There is a lot of design.
Value grouping, deciding on composition and storytelling, like a lot of that kind of stuff. Because I teach all my favorite stuff, all the stuff that I feel like is really valuable. I teach that in my classes. You've gained a future student. Awesome. I hope to see you around here more as well.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I like that you changed the moods in the 3 color pieces. Color psychology.
And I teach a lot of stuff that I learned professionally as well. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff that you learn on the job.
Well, I'm kind of ready to wrap up.
Sure.
It was fun.
I didn't do any of my 1,000 heads.
Oh, you didn't?
I wanted to do some of them.
Oh.
But if I did some, I would be locked in for a little bit.
Yeah. Good morning. Don't know how to fix my settings in Krita. My drawing is looking more like thread than paint.
I'm not sure. I haven't really used Krita.
Yeah. And well, looking at how fast you draw, I always wondered if speed is something you should keep in mind when learning art. Like, are you intentionally trying to be fast, or all of this is just internalized?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That is a good question.
I would say it's not that speed isn't important. It's one of those things that you can practice on its own. In the beginning, generally you wouldn't really think that much about speed because you're just learning. Yeah. Later, you can optimize for speed. Like, professional artists will optimize for speed. They'll learn tools, they'll learn shorthands, if you're just learning, I wouldn't really worry about optimizing for speed. I would just try to draw like a lot.
Yeah.
Like instead of thinking about speed as a beginner, think about like quantity over quality. Because quantity is what's going to get you really good. I was watching a Rodgon stream the other day, and he was like, oh my gosh, like 10 fast sketches. I don't remember exactly what he said. It was something like 10 fast sketches will definitely beat like one really detailed drawing in terms of improvement. And I really do agree with that. Quantity is what's going to help you improve a lot. Speed is something that you optimize for later on. And also, if you're a beginner and you're just like, oh my gosh, it just takes me so long to do stuff, totally normal. Heard it all the time. But like,
you'll get faster naturally.
Yeah, if you don't know how to do a figure drawing, how could you get faster at something you don't know how to do? Like, it would be difficult. How do you get faster at something you can't do slowly? Like, it would kind of be it wouldn't be very helpful to try to speed up something that you don't know how to do in the first place. It's like learning how to do it and then focusing on more effective or efficient ways to do it.
You know, really good. That's a really good point, because when I practiced piano, my mom taught me piano. She was always like, don't start fast. You have to do it slowly and then gradually get faster. Like, because I was very impatient. And so I would be like, I want to do the fast thing. I want to do the fast thing. I want to draw fast. I want to play fast. And then I would mess up because my fingers weren't adjusted to the speed. My fingers didn't know where to go at a slow level. So how would they be able to go at a faster level?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a pretty good circle.
Yeah, that's a very good circle.
How do you draw something that is moving fast? I mean, usually, like if you have a ball, you could go, it's squished, and you could draw it out of like hatching. Like that could help. But it's like you imply it through the way that you draw things. So maybe your ball has a this is more of like an animation thing, I think. Like animators deal with this a lot. Of course, they have more things that they have at their disposal than just like a single two-dimensional image, but maybe if there's a core shadow, I might draw that core shadow. Come on. Using hatches, so like I'm not drawing in the right direction. There we go. And it's like zoom, it's like going really fast. That's one way you could do it. There's like a bunch of ways that you could do it, but that's the one that I would probably jump to first. How about a person running? Instead of a ball, it would be the person.
You might need to make a lot of things blurry. Like legs blurry. Maybe some of them is like visible. This
yeah, it's like
front view.
You're implying
movement.
Like, you know, a running pose, and you're implying the limbs and body. Instead of a line, it might be a little bit of hatching or speed lines going in the direction that they're running.
Yeah.
Like,
this is harder to draw in a front view, but like it's almost like you can also keep in mind that when someone's running really fast, like maybe they're probably like lower to the ground because that feels more aerodynamic.
And like, what part of their body is moving the fastest? Probably their legs.
Yeah.
And their arms. So like maybe their legs would just straight up be a blur.
Yeah.
It's like shutter speed. I mean, it's kind of mimics shutter speed. If your shutter speed is slow enough, it's just going to be a blur.
Yeah.
Like photography. If your shutter speed is really, really, really fast, then it would be just frozen in air. So you could do something like that.
I would have to look up some specific references of how manga artists add their little hatching.
Yeah, I feel like I have a folder on Pinterest called like effects or something. Effects, yeah.
Yeah.
Like people do it all different ways. Like this is nice stuff.
Ooh, that's good.
This almost has like an echo.
That's cool. Echo.
like speed lines breaking the silhouette. Like that's nice. That's really good. Like this bat right here. That's smart. Designing their arcs. And you can see like the tip of the bat is the thing that's moving the fastest, so it's the most blurred. Right? Like if I do this and I transform it and I put my point right here, the point that moves the fastest is the tip of it. So when you're swinging a bat, not that you swing it exactly like this, but similarly, your arms would be like the hinge.
Yeah.
The tip is going to move the fastest. So you might want that the most blurred, and that could really help with something like that. This is good stuff, though. I don't know who drew this. Maybe this person?
Like, what has the most impact, I guess?
Yeah. Like, a lot of it is very logical. You're like, oh, thing move fast, can't see well. But, like, that's literally the reason that Christine and I buy manga and read them, is because we're just like, how do other artists do it? Learning from people who are really, really good. Like, you'll learn a lot by not even looking at tutorials. You just look at, like, how other people do stuff. Like, if you see something you like and it looks cool, take a picture of it, put it in a folder or something. Or even better yet, do a study.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you see something you really like, just do a study of it. Like, draw it, because it'll ingrain it in your mind. Like, you don't really remember things by looking at them. You remember things by actually actively drawing them. And so it goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? Which is like, are you using reference as a tool? Like, doing a study of an artist's drawing, I would just use it to learn. Mm-hmm. Like, you can do a study of an artist's work and never post it anywhere. Like, it'll make you better at art. It'll make you better. Like, I'll study an artist, maybe how they draw like a rock or how they draw like a missile flying through the air. And I'm like, well, that's really cool. And you study it and you'll remember so much more about the thing than if you just look at it and go, oh, I'll remember it. Like, you won't. You won't remember it. This one's awesome. I've seen this one a number of times.
Oh, yep.
There it is.
What do you think about the whole idea of artists direct drawing when learning fundamentals? I've heard teachers like Peter Hahn suggest that, but traditional/classical schools teach sketching first. What do you mean by direct drawing?
Do you mean like straight up drawing with like a brush pen or something? I'm a big fan of Peter Hahn. I really like his stuff. Like, not everybody has the same goals, even amongst professionals. Mm-hmm. But Peter Hahn is good. Like, he knows what he's talking about. He's a lot better than I am. Probably better than I will ever be.
Any erasing? Like, you're just using a medium that's very unforgivable?
Drawing in pen and ink with no undersketch. Like drawing of Kim Jong-gi. It's a good exercise. Like, one of my friends... when he was learning, he was a big fan of doing exercises. Like, if you can't undo, it's very punishing.
Yeah.
And it makes you make less mistakes. When something is a punishing medium, it will train you to not make as many mistakes. In that way, like, yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. The friend that I'm talking about, he did a lot of those types of exercises in unforgiving mediums, and he ended up getting hired at Blizzard on the Overwatch team. That's not because he did those exercises. Like, those were just one of the things. But, but at the end of the day, there's insanely successful artists who don't do that at all. Like, there's tons of incredibly successful artists who do undersketches and iterations, and it's just one approach. Like, I don't think there is a best approach. It's so contextual.
Yeah.
Like, look at James Gurney. Like, he's a living legend, and yet he's doing, like, sketches in his sketchbook with pencil when he does an illustration.
It's more like, do what you want to do.
It's like there's flavor. Yeah, it's like, I totally agree. Like, it's awesome to do that, and it's a great exercise, but like, by no means does that have to be your end goal. Mm-hmm. Even amongst professionals, like, I mean, like, I took a class by Craig Mullins, and he does tons of really, really messy, loose sketches, and they start super, super rough and ugly, and then he, like, refines them and goes forward, and he has an amazing process. So I mean, Peter Hahn's definitely a legend, but like there's a lot of other legends who work completely differently. So it's more about like what flavor you want. I wouldn't take anything as like, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Or, oh, this is the only way, you know, sketching doesn't make you improve or anything. Like, it's not like that.
Like, that's how I think about it, is like, there's no, like, the best artist in the world, not that there really is one, because people have specialties, but it's not like they have found the one right way.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, dude, pencil drawings before and then ink afterward. And it depends on what your goal is. Like, do you need the flexibility of being able to change it? Like, it would make no sense to do concept art for a project with an unforgiving medium, because concept art is all about iterations and variations and changing things. Like, you want things to be as non-destructive as possible and changeable as possible, because that's the job, right? Like, if you're working as a splash artist, like, you're not going to work in brush pen.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't make any sense, because it would cost the studio you're working for more money, because you'd have to draw the entire thing from scratch again. It's like, it depends on what your goals are. But, like, I mean, if your goals are similar, then I would say for sure. And it's a great exercise. Like, I'm a really big fan of drawing in an unforgiving medium. Direct drawing, I guess they call it. I don't know. Like, I like Peter Hahn, but I haven't watched a ton of his stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly because, like, my goals aren't really like that. Like, I love Kim Jung-Ee's stuff. We have a whole bunch of his sketchbook collections. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. But, like, my goal isn't to just draw with a ballpoint pen from imagination with no guidelines. Like, my goal is to tell stories and teach people art and have fun. So I'm not like, oh my gosh, master,
I will only do what you want.
As you do. It's like you can train under multiple people for sure. I think, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of new age artists treat it like a cult and make you feel wrong for using pencil these days. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, they should be shaming some of the best manga artists in the world then, because a lot of them use pencil to start.
So
it is cult-like. I think it's easy to fall into this, like, my way is the best way, or the way that I learn is the best way, and other people, like, not that Peter Hahn does that. Like, I'm sure he respects a lot of different kind of stuff, but, like, the students a lot of the time will fall into a cult. I mean, it happens in video games too. Like, people who play Escape from Tarkov, like, a lot of the time will get into this cult that your game has to be super, super unforgiving, and
and that's the only way
shame
games should
people
be.
who play other games that aren't, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. They get really passionate about their preferences.
And another thing, like, look at art schools. Like, a lot of the time people get shamed for wanting to draw in an anime style, and it's like,
absolutely.
well, it totally depends on your goals.
Yeah.
Like, there is no advice without context. It's like, drink water. It's like, well, what if you're full of water?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, there is no way to give advice without context.
Yeah.
Because there's no advice you could possibly give that would be good in every single situation always. It doesn't make sense. So it's like the context of what your goals are. That's why it's so funny, because when I was taking that class from Craig Mullins, he talked about that sort of thing. It's like, every single thing requires context. Like, every decision you make is like context. Like, well, it's like, oh, should I make this bigger or should I make this smaller? It's like, well, it depends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it depends on the goal of the artwork. You might be a big fan of Devin Corwin. He started Underpaint Academy. He has an Instagram, DevinKorwin. He's a painter. I've taken some of his classes online, and really, really good stuff. He's like one of those guys that he has a lot of nuance. Very good painter.
You know, art is very much like emotions. Emotions, like, are very varied.
Yeah. And
Same
like,
with art.
I will be the first to say that my level is not super high. Maybe eventually I'll get a lot better, but I'm like a mid-level concept artist. I'm like average level. definitely not like an art director, and there's so many projects I couldn't get hired on. Like, I couldn't get hired at Blizzard, I couldn't get hired at Riot, I couldn't get hired at a bunch of places. But I mean, I've worked professionally for a long time, and I'm pretty familiar with teaching fundamentals and doing all that. And so I don't necessarily think, like, everybody's a human, right? Like, the artist you respect the most out of anybody, or that you think is the best, they're human. Like, they have preferences. Not everybody's goals are the same as theirs. And it's so easy to get into this mindset of just like, you get so wrapped up with what you're doing that you can be like, no, this is the best way. Like,
this is the only way, the best way. Any other way doesn't work.
All the welders are like, this welding is the best career, and here's why. You know what I mean? Like, not that I mean, I have known some welders. They're not necessarily exactly like that, but you know what I mean. It's like,
I think anyone from any career is like this.
It's easy to get sucked into what you do all the time, and I think you should have that passion. Like, I don't think it's bad. You want people who are good at a certain thing to be passionate about that specific thing. Like, if someone only draws with a brush pen, I would hope that they are obsessed with the brush pen. Because if you take a class from them, you wouldn't want them to be like, well, I don't know, brush pen. You would lose the flavor of like them as a teacher and their passion. Mm-hmm. It's just students can get sucked into this idea that no, sensei's way is the perfect way, and you're not doing that. You use a pencil, shame on you.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the time, the pros know. Like, they know that they like a specific thing, and not everybody needs to do that thing.
It's a cool song.
I'm just yapping, honestly, but everybody's human. It's so easy to get sucked into stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I would hope my teacher's really excited and passionate about the thing that they teach. It's just, there's always nuance to things.
Sure is.
Like, Scott Robertson, for example, like, he's absolutely obsessed with really, really high, like, accuracy and perspective.
Because he's a transportation designer.
Yep. Transportation designer, taught industrial design, worked on a bunch of really specific projects. Like Thomas Bertling, I had him at Art Center. He taught a class. He co-wrote Scott Robertson's How to Draw book. He worked for Boeing. He does design for, like, aircraft companies and stuff. Like, of course they're going to be really accurate. Mm-hmm. But then we take a class from Will Weston, and he's just like, like he doesn't teach things in that sort of way, because he teaches viz dev people who go into like animation and storyboarding and stuff.
Yeah.
Then like you take a class from someone like Wouter Tolp, who's like a character designer, and what he says about perspective is it only has to be right enough that you don't get distracted by it not being right. It's like, if your perspective doesn't distract you, then it's fine.
I feel like the person that really broke the idea of like best way versus whatever was Craig Mullins. He's like, I worked in a very different way this time for this painting. And it's like, as long as the shapes are right, you're fine.
Craig Mullins, definitely one of my favorite teachers that I've ever had. Definitely. He has classes on schoolism. He has classes on underpaint, I think.
Really? Yeah,
I think he has a class on Colosso.
Most likely. Yeah, he does have a class on Colosso.
Amazing teacher. I love his mentality on things. I love the approach and the flexibility. I really, really respect it. It was very cool. Like,
this guy's very passionate, Looks like Ganyu. She kind of does. It's the blue tips. I think it's pretty cute too, though.
Can't understand the colors, because whenever I pick colors, either they are more saturated or too muddy. Well, muddiness generally comes from value. Muddiness a lot of the times will come from not having a good solid value structure. Like,
or sometimes people would say muddy as if it's like too desaturated. Some people would describe muddy like that too.
Yeah,
I've heard of that too.
Yeah, James Gurney has a page on whether muddiness is really actually a thing in his color and light book.
Oh, interesting.
But it's like it's basically a value problem. Like, muddiness is a value problem. It's like blotchiness. That comes from value.
Blotchiness can also happen through like unconfident strokes, or like doing a lot of this that creates blotchiness with like, I don't know, soft brush. Where is it?
Yeah. And like understanding that colors have different inherent values. Like yellow's light.
Yeah. Like if you're coloring like this,
yeah,
where like all your strokes are like uneven with different values, it's gonna look blotchy.
They said, yep, desaturated.
Yeah, desaturated. Okay.
Yeah, just understand that like when you're coloring something, red is kind of a medium value, yellow is pretty light value, blue is a pretty dark value. You know, green, you can get like impossible greens in Photoshop, so we'll just say that this
more
is
natural
like green.
right?
If I turn these black and white, you cannot make a full saturated yellow this dark. It just won't work.
No.
It just doesn't respond to light in that way. If you have a lot of trouble with this, I would honestly recommend traditionally painting. Like pick up gouache or oils or acrylic. Anything that you have to physically mix colors to get another one. Limited palettes are also really good, but if you have to physically mix your colors, it helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. I also think, I used to think that every time I went to the most saturated thing, I thought that they were all equal. I mean, like, I thought they were all the same.
Yeah, like red equals yellow equals blue equals green in terms of
full saturation.
If I pull this thing all the way to the top right, then they're all the same. It's like they're not.
No.
Munsel's 3D color space is like a three-dimensional color wheel. Nathan Fowkes talks about this in his book Color and Light, which is also the same name. He like co-authored the book.
Like whenever I try to pick soft colors, they are more like desaturated.
I don't know what you mean by soft.
Do you mean like pastel colors?
Because like soft, like pastel would be less saturated.
Yeah, you can't, like, you have to understand that there are limitations to colors. Like there's rules, and like if you want to choose a pastel pink, pastel yellows, they are naturally desaturated.
They're pastel because you've added white to them, which brings the saturation down.
Yeah.
Like pastel is like in here.
Yeah.
This being gray, this being full saturation, pastel is like pretty far down. Like this red is not pastel. Mm-hmm. I have to add white to it. Right? This, whatever, this green, I had to add a bunch of white to it in order to make it more pastel.
Mm-hmm. If you want to make certain colors more saturated, understanding, so I would say the color that can get the brightest as a pastel is yellow.
Yep.
Because yellow is naturally light.
See, that yellow, this yellow right here is almost white.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that this is a three-dimensional space up in here, and that you can't treat all colors equally, like for all situations. Like, you can't get a dark night low-key lighting scene with bright, vibrant yellows. It's just too bright.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Yeah.
I talk about this a lot in my class. Where is that? Come on.
If you also have a lot of colors that are saturated and then you use like soft colors, it's going to naturally desaturate in the context of the image as well. So like if you want certain desaturated quote unquote soft colors to look more saturated, you might want to have a different environment where those colors pop and be brought out more. That's also like another thing, right?
Yeah.
You might also need to make your piece probably more low key.
So yeah, low key being a lower value range.
Yeah.
And high key being like mostly light, a little bit of dark, or low key being mostly dark, a little bit of light. Mm-hmm. But like you can see that for some of these shots, for example, like the yellows, like if I want something to be pretty saturated, I have to understand that a very saturated blue is dark, is pretty dark, like this kind of purplish blue, right? And so if I want a blue that's very bright, I have to add white to that. And that does not allow me to go all the way to the top right anymore.
Yeah.
But yellow,
you can do that.
Look at that.
Yep.
Yellow at full saturation is brighter than this blue after I've added a whole bunch of white. Mm-hmm. See? This is important. Yuming Lee plays a lot with this sort of thing. I really like his painting stuff.
Oh, so good.
He has a class. It's on his Instagram. But he messes with this stuff a lot.
That's
this sort of thing.
painting.
Or or this sort of thing right here.
Oh,
he
lovely.
talks. He messes a lot with color, and he messes a lot with simultaneous contrast, which is like different color, same value.
You'll also
Just
notice
awesome
that
stuff.
some colors in harmony with others will look more saturated than they normally are. So like for instance, to me, that bluish tone in the light area feels kind of saturated, but if you color pick it, it's not that saturated at all. It's like very light blue.
Yeah, look at that. It's
Yeah.
all the way down here, 32% saturation.
It's
But yet
psychological.
it feels so vibrant because of what's around it. And color is all contextual as well.
And you'll notice that those orange bits, those glowy orange bits, feels even more saturated because there's a lot of dull colors around it. Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Like, I mean, and there's so many examples from him. He uses this color palette a lot.
I love it.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
Very nice. He uses this kind of purplish blue a lot. I like it.
I really like it too. It's very signature of Yuming.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other artists. Like, there's so many good artists out there. There's more artists that are at an insanely high level than I'll ever hear about in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, color is all relative. James Gurney talks about that a lot as well. If you can check out his YouTube channel, he has a lot of content up for free.
Yeah.
He's all traditional painter. Well,
I'm ready.
I'll probably head out. Structurally, how the legs connect to the pelvis area. We'll probably have to cover that on a different stream.
Yeah. Thought about
I'm
it
beat.
today. And I'm hungry, so I'm gonna make
stinking
dinner.
hungry, dude. Curry.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you give a step-by-step building process to make your drawing? I'm not sure what you mean. Christina draws all the time on stream.
Yeah. If you mean like a very finished and polished stuff, that would be in our school. I will have to cover that a different time if we do cover that topic.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a long-form version of that, you'd probably want to get our school.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this piece here, I painted on stream not too long ago. I pretty much did the whole thing live.
Yeah, that's true. You did. He did it on like a 10-hour stream.
And then I also did this one on our last 10-hour stream. I did most of this, or a lot of this live. So if you're looking for my stuff, I have a lot of stuff on our YouTube channel on our past live streams that I've done.
His stuff is really, really good.
But if you want Christina's stuff, she's done a ton of stuff as well on live stream. Like,
yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, dude.
Which one?
Everything. Like,
well,
a ton of these. Like,
yeah.
I did this on live stream.
I did do that on live stream, and then it turned into this.
That one was better.
Yeah, that one was inspired by your Freerin piece.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging out. We're going to be live tomorrow, and we will also be live on Saturday all day long. We're going to be doing a 10-hour-long live stream on Saturday. We'll be live the whole day. We'll be doing pancake art where we draw on the grill with colored pancake batter. It's really fun. We'll be doing Draw Me on Roblox. We'll be doing OC drawing. There will be a character design challenge going during stream. We'll play different games and have fun. It's a good time. So if you want something to do on Saturday, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Pacific, we'll be starting and we'll be going until like 9 p.m. or later.
Yes.
But other than that, we will talk to you all later. And yeah, that's going to be it.
Bye, guys.
Where is this? Here it is.
You like low energy meow meow.
I know. I need energy.
You need natural energy, natural caffeine.
Bye bye, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye, YouTube.
Bye.